Well, back to Tuesday now, and at 10:45, Barry Norman's here for Film 88, including reviews of White Mischief and RoboCop. Now, the Play On One is a comedy by John Byrne, the creator of the highly acclaimed Tutti Frutti. It's Election Day 1964 in normal service.
Has anyone seen anything? This pen needs gassing.
Away!
We'll be talking to you, the Scottish electorate. Join Mario Casamado on
That's okay for level. What?
Away!
What? Give a phone, please.
That's your phone. Come on.
Find that last left of it. Left hand door out. Hold it.
This is Murray and Wilfred, Bertie, Peter the Boss, Bruce Mooney, Ishbel, who is pregnant, keep your eyes on old Maxwell, Bobby Byrne, Michael, who'll save it tonight.
Gavin, now look, I don't care what Mr. High and Mighty says. I'm not parading up and down underneath these lights with this coat on. Have you a smell at it? It's honking. Stick your nose in that.
What point was that one again?
Does that not remind you of something?
Thanks.
Do you remember that day we all went to Calder Park Zoo? Remember one of the llamas had diarrhea and you were feeding it chocolate biscuits? Gavin, I'm talking to you. Would you stop footering with those goblets? Sit up straight.
Something about your rise, Wilfred.
Last time I take over one of Archie's shows. The lip you get from these directors. Bunch of incompetent Nancy boys. Any phone calls, Murray?
One or two. All wishing me bon voyage. Nice of you to ask, Ferdy.
Don't you start. I've had a bellyful for one morning. Well, take these joiners out and shoot the lot of them. Bunch of card-carrying Barry Bucknellites. Peter and yet. I'm surprised friend Archie went off sick. You there, Peter?
You know his wife's left him, don't you?
It's no excuse for being late. Mine left me 6 months back. My timekeeping's never been in question.
No, Archie's wife. Flushed all his medication down the toilet. Set fire to the carpets. Bunged the TV and the freezer out the back for the bin men before she hopped it. According to one source, that is.
Design Giaconelli speaking.
Hello, graphics.
There's supposed to be a workshop manual with this bloody contraption.
Oh, really? There must be a fault in the line. No, the boss man's not arrived yet. Do you want to work with the Iago?
Who is that?
Action Special, Studio B. Beverly, what's her name?
Workshop manual, Murray.
Aye, something like that. She wants to know what's happened to that swingometer you promised her.
What swingometer?
Vulcan Junior, heated metal oblique, full caption printer.
Oh, sweetheart, Ferdy.
Everything's knackered.
I don't care what Bob Mackenzie's got at the BBC. You're not working for Auntie now, gorgeous. It's the first I've heard of any swingometer. What does it look like?
You haven't tucked it away in one of your suitcases for something to read in the boat, have you?
Get your horny mitts out of there, you nosy old geek.
Aye, well, that sounds to me like the fanciful product of a sick mind, honey bunch. I've got the full range of Archie's working drawings laid out in front of me, and there's nothing remotely resembling what you've just described on any of the sheets. What's his precise function, this ego?
That's what you're looking for. Beat it, you.
No, doesn't ring any bells, Bentley. Like I say, Archie's famous in here for shooting a line. Where'd you get this?
Lying there on top of your desk. Surprised you didn't see it.
You're still there, beautiful. One of my colleagues has just backed up what I've been telling you. Same thing happened about a month back on Killyard Kitchenette. Only that involved a phantom pressure cooker. I'll let you guess who wasn't too popular at the scene shifters' tea break that morning. Murray's nodding away here.
You haven't got a set of insulated tongs you could let us have, Jack and Eddie.
No chance of that, darling. Nobody can reach a bugger since he went off sick. He's ex-directory.
Yes, 1 or 2 wires hanging down underneath here. Do you see them?
Look, just tell whoever's fronting the show that Archie has screwed up yet again, and would they mind very much making do with the forecasting facility we've always provided them with in the past. No. Animated captions. Animated captions, Murray.
Insulated tongs, Ferdy.
Hold on, darling. Don't mess me about, Murray. I've got a newly appointed ex-BBC staff director now working for us from choice on the line. Animated captions, yeah?
Not me, mate. You want to have a word with Michael.
Michael? Who's Michael?
Replacement for yours truly. Started last Friday. You must have seen him. He's about 14. Can't be much longer.
Just been informed that young Michael's been up all night working on them, the animated captions. You know his wife's left him, don't you?
Morning, Murray. Good Lord, I hadn't realised there were that many boxes in the country.
No. Archie's wife. Set a match to the family home, poisoned all the pets and took a hatchet to the furniture.
Morning, Ferdy.
I want to word with you, Peter. Oh, really? I thought the whole place knew about it.
How did you find your respective polling stations? Ours was like a mausoleum.
Aye, fine. Well, next time the buggers go to the country, we'll get you 2 swingometers. How's that? Ciao. Peter?
Have you seen the price of kiddie sandals, Ferdy? It's outrageous.
Never hate a bloody sandals. Just had that hyphenated girlfriend of yours chewing my ear off about some fictitious apparatus that prodigy of yours promised her before he went off sick.
Be with you in a tick, Ferdy. Have you done these Bobby Bruin captions for Bruce Mooney, Murray? Or was that Max? No, as you were, my mistake, it was Michael.
I'm perfectly willing, even at this late stage, to cover for Archie and knock out some working drawings. It's the joiners that the real niggers in the woodpile. Well, they are. What are you looking at us like that for? Oh, Christ, aye, sorry. Your latest one's black, isn't he? It's a he, isn't it?
Dominic happens to be Tahitian, which is neither here nor there, Ferdy. I try to run a liberal ship. What do you mean, my hyphenated girlfriend?
No juice getting through to this bastard.
Not just now, Wilfred. Is Michael out there? Peter Haig?
What do you want, a tier of coffee?
Oh, hello, Beverly.
I'll get you a coffee.
A what, sorry?
Workshop manual.
Ferdy? Is Ferdy out there, Murray?
Can't see him, Peter.
Morning, Murray, son. Making good the old escape kit, I see. Sorry I'm late, Pietro. The old dear got a walking frame jammed in one of the booths. Had to get the returning officer to cut her free with his blowtorch.
That you, Max?
Popped into Mario Hunchback in the downstairs lobby. He was showing me his new catalogues. Some very nice goose-down leggings in one of them, ladies and gents. Why don't you get yourself a pair? Old Arch is still in absentium, I notice.
Max?
Big place, Canada. I was just saying to the old dear last night, if she and I were 10 years younger, we could persuade the post office to airmail our pension out every week. We could do a lot worse than joining you and the missus in the land of the caribou and maple jelly. Morning, Peter.
I just had Studio B on the blower.
Hold on a second, old son. There's a lad with very bad impetigo standing in your constituency. He was on the box last night. Used to be our milk boy. Short of sawing his face off, there's not a lot they can do about it. Don't, whatever you do, vote for him. The old losses and gains captions, Pietro. That'll be young Michael's brief. Not arrived yet, the lad. I'll see he gets a good tongue lashing when he does get here. Old Murray used to be a great deal later than this when he first started.
Now hang about.
I don't suppose you and the missus even bothered casting your votes, Murray, son. Quite right. Complete waste of ballot papers. Best waiting till you set down in the Dominions. What was you doing with the day off to school?
It was a cross visit in Archie.
What thought it was woodwork she taught. That's interesting. She and Betty are chums, are they?
It doesn't have to be overly grand, Mac.
Family across the back green from us, they all went out there in the 50s.
A couple of big caption boards bodged together and some kind of pointed thingy that sort of swings.
Big squad all the name of Byrne. Sorry, Pietro, they're standing by for these shinty results. Young Eric Byrne, he got trampled to death at the Calgary Stampede. And two of the older lads went on to make a lot of money from boiled sweets.
Murray, if I did a little thumbnail sketch, do you think you could possibly...
Yeah, definitely land of opportunity.
I realise it's your last day, but if one of us did a little thumbnail sketch...
But your coat is ringing, or do I hear a telephone?
Making a wise decision, Murray, son. Nothing to keep you in this country. Never had it so good as some of us never had it at all. Right, Wilfred? Did you ever get any word about that post you applied for out there? Paste-up artist, wasn't it?
Remind me not to mention you in my farewell speech. It was for art director in a top agency in Toronto.
Sounds very much like a matching town. Hanky position that, old son. Talk to Mario Hunchback. He'll get you out all right.
Cheers.
As long as the missus has got a job to go to, that's the main thing. Lets you have a scout around at your leisure, doesn't it? Morning, Ishbel. My God, when did this happen?
If that lift isn't fixed soon, I'm going to Disney Landing.
Hold on, love.
Oh, thanks, you're a pal.
No one needs to cockle, do we?
That you, Michael?
I never get the chance to say hello to you and Moira. She was on the same bus. It's me, Peter. Her hair's really nice, tell her.
Michael!
Did she do it herself or did you get the corporation in?
You and hubby vote this morning, sweetheart?
Yeah, I voted to stay in bed and he voted I should get up and cook him his breakfast. I lost in a recount.
Yes, I did realise there's a double helping of Bobby Bruin shows today, Bruce. I do have a note of it.
Morning, Peter. No, don't get up.
If that's the Jonas you're phoning, Peter, would you ask a wee chap with a missing thumbs if he's got a Yankee screwdriver he's no using?
No, I let young Michael take care of those, Bruce. New chap, terribly keen. Max has got all the tartan sport captions to finish.
You know, you've got a big baldy spot on top of your head.
It kind of lights up when you touch something live.
Hang on, Bruce. What sort of time do you call this, Ishbel? I've got Mooney on the phone. He's having a fit. Why didn't someone let me know he's doing 2 Bobby Bruins this afternoon?
Because someone didn't know herself, did she?
Sorry about that, Bruce. Young Michael just strolled into the office brandishing a pistol of captions. What time's your first run to?
Just hope you're all fond of chipolatas.
Stand, Faust, there. Get one of the chippies to chin about this rise we're getting. We've got this lodger, Peter. I'll have to give him the heave-ho. His feet are freezing.
Let me pass those times on to Michael. Hang on. Go away, Wilfred.
I'm just away at the prop store, Peter.
Just in the nick of time, Murray, son. I'll have a dish of the old knapsack shoe shine. Just a wee spit on the yellow lass,
I'll put your chain back on.
Yeah. Making a big mistake in that, don't you think so, Wilf? Old Murray, big mistake. Ankle deep up to your waistband and snowdrifts all the year round out there, or so I'm told.
See?
You and Robert ever thought of emigrating, Ishbel?
Yeah, we could dump this at the customs.
What's keeping you, Ishbel?
Do you think they'll make a go of it, Chris, there, him and Moira? You want to have seen the hairdo.
Couldn't have picked a worse time, Ishbel. If I was talking to a wee chap at the bus stop, he's just got back. They're eating uncooked huskies in the streets of Toronto at this very moment, apparently.
She out there, Max?
Did he get that job he was after? What was it he called?
Paste-up artist, no idea, love. All I know is he's giving up a very cushy number in here and a very nice flat on the south side. You ever been up there, Pietro?
Didn't you hear me calling? Nip down to the canteen, bring me up a bacon roll and a black coffee. There's a good girl.
Oh, sorry, I was looking for this girl you were talking to.
Used to be Mario Hunchback's weekend apartment prior to his cartilage operation.
All right, all right.
The old dear and I got invited up there for one of the Hunchback autumn sales. We want to see the way Mario had the joint. Brick effect wallpaper, sunken lounge, eye-level WC.
I'm in the prop store if anyone's looking for me.
How's that, Peter?
The lettering isn't normally that big, is it?
It's the hard of hearing, old son.
I quite often refer to Winnie in that way. She's never objected.
Because Murray and his missus have done it over since they moved in. It's all jaggy carpets and day-glow beanbags nowadays.
If young Michael hasn't showed up by... Good grief, that's never the time, is it? I'm in the prop store.
You ever eaten your supper off a beanbag, Wilfred? It's indecent.
Going to get that for me, Max?
Okay, what, Ishbel, love? Seems to be under a bit of pressure at the moment, old Pietro. Seen a lot of that in the RAF. The inevitable consequences of premature upgrading, don't you think so, Wilfred? Like taking a sprog off bullying cat badges and putting him in charge of bomber command.
Peter Haig's office.
Well, you bastard.
Would you hold on, please? Is there a pack for rompers out there?
Unless Wilfred's got to Ishbel.
I'm afraid Peter's not available just at the moment. Try the canteen. Bye. It had a wee rabbit on the front.
It's got a wee rabbit in the front, Wilfred.
Just put it down. The next thing it's vanished.
Oh, those would be nice, Ishbel, as long as you weren't happy not to take his dungarees off during the tea break.
See that canteen? It's full of prospective candidates, hucksters and comic singers. Oh, those will be nice, love. As long as you weren't happy not to take...
Favourite. Have you seen it? $1.11 it cost me.
Just saying to Wilfred you couldn't have timed it better, Murray, son, you and Big Moira.
He was talking to a chap at the bus stop. Tell him about the husky burgers.
You'll not find whatever you're looking for in there, sweetheart. Tell him about the what?
I think I'll take a trip to the prop store. You take my calls, Wilfred.
Could you bring me back a lawn sausage and some pineapple chunks? I'll get you some money.
If that's Bruce Mooney, I've got these 2 geisha paintings he ordered. Thanks, Murray, son.
Graphics, Murray Henderson.
Would you ask them just to butter the underside of the bread and put the chunks on top of the sausage? Oh, you rotter.
Look, pull yourself together. Look, here's Ishbel, okay?
Who am I talking to? Hello? Hello? Sounds like there's somebody crying at the other end.
That's, Michael.
Michael? Oh, I'm Michael. Hello, is that you, Michael? What do you suppose he's crying for? Is it because you're late? He says he's phoning from the hospital. Are you hurt?
His wife's having one of them things that you're having. What is it, a craze or something?
Oh, I see. It's his wife. She's having a baby.
Well, tell her to hurry up.
Has she had it and you've seen it and you don't like the look of it? Is that what you're crying for? I see. It's due any minute between 9 and 6 o'clock tonight. He's crying with excitement.
Don't tell me.
Hello, Michael. When she does have it, ask her if it's sore, will you?
Hi, Murray. All set, are we? God, I wish it were me. No, really. I'm Spearman Green, you're striking out for the great unknown. Hi, Toots.
Hello, Michael.
As far as I'm concerned, this is the great unknown. It's not the Yukon we're going to.
Isn't it? Someone said they'd spotted your missus standing at the bus stop in some sort of beaverskin headgear. Hey, listen, have you heard about poor old Archie's latest misfortune? You remember Betty, don't you? Betty Drinkwater. Used to be my PA. Got married to Archie. Wedding of the year it was. We had a stag night at the Royal Infirmary. Stan Fife drank 2 bottles of ether. Well, she's left him. Old Archie, she's left him. Betty buggered off and left him.
Okay, give up. Hi, Bruce. How's it going downstairs?
No, don't ask. Derek and Sean at each other's throats and Dobbins just relieved himself into Bobby's brand new cream booties. Hey, listen, you don't fancy a pony-skin travelling rug, do you? All right, where are they?
That's them in the parcel there.
I'm directing a show in Studio D, Murray, not some far-flung outpost of the Empire. We'll be getting him the cleft stick next. This is someone's idea of a lark, I take it.
Mario Hunchback to his pay for under a tenner. Just thought I'd let you know.
Better what? Well, pantaloons. I'll have some in lavender when you get the chance. 34 waist, long leg.
Pair of geishas.
Could have sworn he said geishas just then. No, really, I could.
Yeah, we got a pair for a wedding present. We gave them to Robert's mum. She steamed the butterflies off and lined the kitchen drawers with them.
This is welded, is it?
Not the butterflies, the geishas.
That's a lift back on. Bruce, the very man. Let me get the paper off of those and you dispense the teas. That's your bromide, Wilfred. These normally reach here around the 40 mark, Bruce, but I'll break the rules of a lifetime and let you have them for 25. Guineas, that is.
I take it he's addressing you.
You've got to be joking. Have those hanging on the wall. Moira would have a lady.
No, the genuine tropical butterflies sandwiched between the layers. Clever race, the nips. You wouldn't see these in Timothy White's. Terms are strictly cash, old son.
Steady on, I thought... He told me... I thought...
Smile, Bruce. You're in candid camera.
All that intricate costume detail's been authenticated from library books. I had to don special goggles for it.
Excuse me a sec, Maxie. I don't recall ordering those.
Nobody ever does. Peter Haig's office?
These are pictures, Max.
Paintings, old son. After Hosukai, the highly thought of Nipponese artist. His life story was serialized in a while, it's not so very far back. Adrian Hill done the voiceover. The wood blocks of Hosukai.
You don't mean Hokusai by any chance?
I know who I mean, Bruce. There's a cheque, make it out to cash. £26 6 and 6. The brown paper's extra.
Hi, Ferdy. Working hard, are we?
Federation.
She's bolted with the local SNP candidate. That's official. That doesn't need polishing off, nothing will. You're a dyed-in-the-wool unionist, our Archie. My God, a director. What can I do for you, money? I normally deputise when the big white chief goes missing. No, don't tell me. Well, a full-scale mock-up of you Banks and Brays for that puppet show of yours. Well, you can't have them. The joiners have run out of hardboard.
Don't sneer, Ferdy. It's a tough little number, Bobby Bruin. Small wonder Archie flaked out after the pilot. I'm on 6 cranks a day myself, and it is not a puppet show. Derek and Shona are highly skilled marioneteers with a lifetime's manipulative experience behind them. Cheeky bastard.
Talking about small wonders, how's the fancy man? You still winching that dwarf from the Bluebell band dance? Oh, what's his name? You know what I mean, Murray? He was sitting on your Moira's knee at the Tufty Club graduation party the Haigs had for their eldest. Like Peter Bruff and Artie Andrews.
Oh, well, brother.
If you're referring to Dixie,
That's
he is
it,
not...
That's it, Dixie the Pixie. It's not meant to be dancing he does, or is that a complaint he's got? You want to see this guy? It's like something you trip over in a grotto.
He happens to be well over 5 foot. Now, don't come
What's your measure against a toadstool? Well over 5 foot. Do you hear that, Murray?
What do you mean, Peter Bruff and Archie Andrews? Moira's just about hair done.
I've got these items safe for you, old son.
Thank you, Ferdy. I'd like my captions.
As long as you don't want to swing-o-meter. Has Peter's girlfriend been on the phone, love?
What?
Oh, an ACTT handbook kicking around here. Beverly Blowhard, Studio B, oh pregnant one.
I don't mean in 10 minutes. I mean right now. I'm waiting.
You nicked it, Wilfred. Union Row book.
Come along, I've got a camera rehearsal all lined up.
Now, you bugger.
What's that, Peter?
Arrange this freshly pickled bamboo wood. If you absolutely brass it right now, I'm sure we can arrange something in the instalment plan. A tenner down and 5 a week. How does that suit you, old son?
Bruce, what brings you up here?
How's Winnie? Winifred, your wife, Winnie. How's Winnie?
Winnie's fine.
And the brood, the family, Peter. How's the family?
The family are all fine, thanks. As a matter of fact, Winnie's just enrolled Kyoto in the Lifebuoys.
If you harbour a death wish for Winnie and your little League of Nations, you will continue to run this department the way you're doing. I'd very much like my captions, please.
Hasn't Michael handed them over yet? Are you there, Michael?
Oh, drop this foolish charade, Peter. Admit that you're nothing but an incompetent prat who couldn't organise a chimp's tea party. No, I take that back. Tell Winnie she still owes Dixie 6 shillings and 9 for dry cleaning. We never did get the down stains out of his gabardine shorty following that picnic we had at your place. I shall expect my first lot of captions in exactly 40 minutes. Good day.
Oh, will you? Well, we'll see about that.
Hang on, Bruce.
Here's Peter. We'll let him sort out, okay? Peter!
Bruce!
You gonna come and talk to this bloody woman?
Look, I know it's a bit early, but come and have a drink, Murray. One of the graphics boys will lash something up. What would you like, old chap?
What did he say? Did I hear him right?
What would you like, Ferdy? We've got white wine, champagne, or squash. Which one's the champagne-ish belt?
Talking about demarcation here, pal.
Champagne-ish belt?
Don't be daft. There wasn't nearly enough in the kitty for champagne. I took all these chipolatas.
What's Stanfie's number, Max?
5474 per day. They want to have that job and put down. That's disgraceful.
Sherry all right for you, Ferdy? I've just poured you a small one, mate.
That's our number, you clown. If anybody's looking for me, I'm in the prop store.
Must you, Ferdy? You've only just had a cup.
I'm in the prop store consulting Stan Fife, our shop steward.
What about? Cheers, Murray.
If you let one of these jockers turn their hand to cobbling up a swingometer, you're in deep trouble, Peter.
Not that far off one of these Yankee ones, except for hasn't he got a wee bulb on the handle.
Deep trouble!
I have to wait till the old dear's gone to bed to borrow our bifocals for this sort of work.
Has he gone?
Excuse me. Sorry about that, Murray. It won't be quite such a shambles when we wish you Godspeed a bit later on. Right, Max? We shall all miss you. Right, Wilfred?
No, please. Don't ask me to cancel at this stage of the game, Peter. I take it that's what you asked me at the office for.
Well, no, not exactly, Murray. You see, now we've got Michael.
I'd love to do you a favour and climb back into harvest. But it's her. Not that you can blame her. Not when some young upstart with a bubble cut and an honours degree in applied sycophancy gets rewarded with the radiator seat in the staff room and an extra 200 quid a year special responsibility allowance. That is rich. All he's been responsible for in that school is the second-year dinner monies and setting Moira's remedial class back about a decade with his advanced reading list. Can you blame her for wanting to bugger off? Nor can I. No, please. Unless it is a dire emergency, I don't see how I can accept my job back.
Right, Murray. Thanks.
Yeah, I can remember when I got my call-up papers. Cold feet. I had to skitters for a fortnight.
Thank you, Michael. Thank God for that. We're all right, Murray. I'm terrifically grateful to you, but I think that we're all right. Are you still there, Michael? Well, get yourself over here right now, you bloody cretin!
Hello again, and welcome to another edition of Shelf Talk. Well, what do we have for you this month? Kathy will be joining me shortly with some items of special interest for you ladies, such as these beautifully turned goblets available in box sets of 3 from Norries of Kirk and Tilloch, and this very attractive roasting tin and serving tray at 21 and 11 from Christine Dainty's shop in Cardonald. But I'll let Kathy tell you all about those herself. Have you ever been asked to put up shelves for the wife, or maybe she's asked you to freshen up the paintwork in the bathroom? Well, here's just the job. McAvoy's of 2568 Dumbarton Road have just taken a large consignment of these do-it-yourself drill and decorator kits. It's a combined drill and paint spray that McAvoy's tell me anyone can master in just a couple of hours. So if you're like me and thinking about putting up those shelves this weekend, that one's for you. And that particular item carries a full 6 months guarantee. Ah, Kathy, in you come. Here, I like your coat. That's really smashing. That's musquash, isn't it?
No, it just looks like musquash, Gavin. It's got that same luxurious feel to the pelt. In fact, it's just one of the marvellous range of New Seasons furs at Gillespie and Simon of New City Road. This particular item's in Coney, but they've also got beaver lamb and British ocelot in the same style. Prices start at £47, so hurry while stocks last. Gavin.
If you're anything like me and you've thought about hiring a tent for that family holiday but weren't sure where to find the best value, that problem's now a thing of the past. For the very keenest terms, your best bet's Bunty's of Bell's Hill. For bell tents, bunting and bargains, you can't beat Bunty's. Ring this Bell's Hill number now. Bell 2199. Kathy.
Well, that's all for today. Oh, there's just one more thing before we go. Gavin.
What's that, Kathy?
Cheers.
Join us again next month when Kathy and I will be here with lots more useful and attractive items on Shelf Talk. Cheers.
Last night. Max there saw me working on them, didn't you, Max?
I'm closing it, I'm closing it. Look, I'm closing it.
Somebody must have seen them.
He's on the phone to Archie.
How is the lad? Managing to hold his own, is he?
We think you were off with some guy from the National, but hold on, look. Beat it, you.
Did they say they'd let you know, Michael?
You didn't happen to come across them, did you, Wilfred?
The hospital, did they say they'd let you know, I'm asking?
God, I was supposed to phone.
How's that first anniversary present working out, Ishbel, love? Young Robert managing to get a close enough shave with it?
Where's the telephone got to?
He says he'll wait a few more years till he's down, toughens up. I brought it in to exchange it. Do you want to give it a try?
No, I was just curious. Wilfred's bought one for Mamie. What are you looking for now, Michael's son? There's a job lot from an abattoir, apparently.
There used to be a phone here.
From an abattoir? My God.
For shaving pig meat, Ishbel. Big Mark's this lad in makeup's threatening to sue the hunchback estate. He got a very bad dose of mild anthrax off of his... They had to graft the soles of someone's feet onto his throat, he was telling me. Not without some difficulty, I might add. The phone's in the basket, old son.
In the basket?
That was when you left him.
Well, Fred, you better chuck down that. Michael's wife's going into labour. Don't stand there like a dooley, fish it out. What hospital is she in?
St. Saviour's maternity.
Okay, that's where I'll be going. Do you hear that, Max? Michael's wife's having her baby at St. Saviour's.
Run by the Little Sisters of the Holy Womb, Ishbel, love. Felix gets all his kiddies there. They say it's very good, don't they, Wilfred? They might not have the latest gas and air equipment, but all the nappies are blessed, and any confusion over the infant's identity is sent for arbitration to the next Vatican Council. Be in good hands there, sweetheart.
Oh, hello. Could you put me through to Our Lady of Perpetual Succour Ward, please?
You're not religious, are you, Matt?
Not me, Spellove. Gave all that up when the old man passed over. He was a chiropodist. Just tuning into the Tokyo Olympiad, old son.
Hold on,
I believe we've got a British hopeful, the egg and spoon.
Immediately after the
Oh,
start
what's the car, is it?
at 1:35. Well, we apologize to younger viewers for this delay to our advertised program. This is entirely due to a technical fault at our Black Hill transmitter.
I'll talk to you
I'll bring
later.
you Bobby and Dobbins, Bob a job, just as soon as we...
No, Pinkerton. She came in this morning. Sorry? Oh, Olive. No, Olive.
As in stuffed.
God, I'm shaking. Look.
Oh, Ma. Bet you it is sore.
Most natural thing in the world, their Spellove. It's only in our so-called sophisticated society that childbearing holds any fears. Right, Wilfred? Look at the tribesmen of the Kalahari. They've been known to give birth while frying up their menfolk's teas. Who did you say you were phoning, Murray's son?
Right. Yes, right. Thanks. I've taken her along to the theatre.
Oh, my God. They've taken her along to the theatre.
That's nice, Michael. That'll make a pleasant change from watching television.
You should have ovaries.
Somebody better answer that, or Wilf will have it in a hamper.
Bye, Bob, you don't make it.
Hello, Graf.
Then Bob Murray.
Oops.
You're needing a bed, old son.
That's it fixed. There's a mass meeting in the car park at 1500 hours. Stan Fife will be in the driving seat. Can see if that hem's hanging down at the back, Murray.
Bit early to be going out for your Halloween, no?
I never believed you had the legs for that, Ferdy. Come and have a go at the Jack and Nelly Gams, Wilfred.
Okay, it's not another of Winnie's silver paper for distressed Highlanders nights.
Chuck it. This is the very outfit the Lord Provost wore when the Nationalist candidate got pipped at the post at Govan last time out. Stan Fife was our agent. We'll show that bugger Haig how to run our own affairs. He's not in there, is he? Oh, Christ, he is. We saw Edward off, didn't we?
Edward.
King Edward.
The potato, you mean?
Not that. Not that potato. If I catch you or any of your cronies collaborating with him in there, you're for it. Do you hear? Up to date with your subs, Murray. Get the lassie to circulate a memo. How familiar is she with the continental clock system, do you know? If Peter asks you where I am, you haven't seen me. Okay. Don't forget Wilfred and the rookie. Every vote's a pledge for solidarity. Remember, Govan! Viva Caledonia!
Bit over the top, no?
What the hell was all that row about?
Haven't a clue, old son.
Thought I heard Ferdy. I promised Moira I'd see to your welfare just as she's seeing to Archie's. No, please take it. It's one of Winnie's specials. I told Moira I'd stand over you till you finished it. Just one bite will suffice, soldier. Well done. I'd like everyone's attention, please. I've just been on the telephone to Archie's home. I'm afraid the news isn't all that good.
Died, has he?
He's had a relapse.
Probably all that scoff he had at your Nipper's christening do, Pietro.
We don't know how bad it is, but Murray's Moira is with him and medical help has been summoned.
Yeah, that's where the lads came down with this struggle. He was seen getting turned into a big bowl of dicey-looking shellfish, apparently.
Max, if you have anything to discuss, do you think you could step inside and discuss it quietly?
Not that I was there to see him wolfing it down. I'm only going by eyewitness reports. Any luck yet, Michael, son?
Dribbling on about it. Of course you were there, weren't you?
Never got the invite, Peter.
Didn't you?
Not that I'm the least bit bothered. The old dear and I spent a very pleasant day at the Transport Museum. You and Big Moira want to take a stroll along there first thing in the morning before you set foot in your aeroplane, Murray. Some very interesting tandem and sidecar combos on display.
Look, I'm terribly sorry, Max. Winnie must have thought that we made that separate...
You didn't have to catch old Archie munching his way through this al fresco parfait, did you, Wilfred? When he had all this stuff laid out in the greenhouse, the Nipper's christening do. What's his name again?
Dominic. Listen,
Dominic.
Max.
Nice name. Dominic. Nice name. He's a dark child, I believe. Tibetan, did you say, Wilfred?
What?
Told you I'd done them.
Well, how on earth did they find their way down there? Never mind about that now. Let's get them downstairs.
Were you around when Archie was getting stove into this greenhouse for her, Murray?
Studio D, if anyone's looking for me, well done, Mike.
No, I spent most of my time in the toilet.
What in God's name are you waiting for? Studio D at the double.
Even up Winnie's junket.
There's further slight delay to the Bobby Bruin show. Everything's being done by our engineering staff to get things moving again. In the meantime, here's a clip from last Sunday's Bluebell Barn Dance, featuring the much-admired footwork of Dixie Little at the Bluebell Barn.
Yes, that's been the cause of Archibald's complaint. The greenhouse provender. It's amazing the number of people that are allergic to seafoods. Old dear only has to look at a fish cake to break out in barucas.
We're on there. We're on there.
Captions! Captions! Beat! Beat! Didn't just not take them downstairs, Murray. Or was that something else entirely?
No, I think that was the chipolatas. I better check with Wilfred.
Would you care for another kick at these geishas? Help refresh your memory, old son.
Wilfred!
You bastard! What did I say again? 25, was it? There's no way, is it?
Don't forget to pop up your chipolata, Bruce. I thought the canteen was meant to stay open for lunchtime. I went along to collect your party stuff. They've not started to serve yet in any of the tables. I'm starving as well.
I heard that, love.
What's it got in there?
Entire contents of the North Sea, with the possible exception of the baggy mini. The Winnie Hague special.
No, give me it. Oh, there's a big chunk out of it.
You were at Peter's most recent acquisition in his christening do, weren't you, Ishbel?
Yeah, me and Robert, why?
Either of you noticed anyone gorging themselves in a big bowl of greenhouse limpets?
Big bowl of what?
Shrimps, limpets, crabs, a sort of marine cocktail. Wilfred swears he was giving it big licks, the lad.
Who is it we're talking about?
Probably set off an irritation in the bowel. The Hague's baptismal trash to which some of us were invited and others some weren't. Seen a lot of that in the RAF. I remember this warrant officer showing some of the lads myself a poison bell he'd removed out of a big lad up in Huddersfield and preserved in a bell jar. Copped his lot from a surfeit of clam chowder, this chap.
Put it like sharp for a minute, would you?
I believe they've got the tapeworm on display in a vacuum-sealed bottle of aspic at the RAF Medical Monstrosities Museum at Hendon. Do you ever come across a suppurating bowel, Ishbel, love?
That was delicious, Murray. Have ever what?
They made it particularly gripping your life in their hands, I always thought. Do you get all your meals aboard the aircraft tomorrow, Murray? Yeah, I remember my first overseas flight. There was 14 of us crammed into the Bombay of this Lancaster one Sunday morning. No idea where we were headed. I was lying next to big Trevor Fellows from Salkins. Him and a cop on the Green Jackets had been out to town the night before. 17 pints of Grossett's heavy-duty scrumpy they scoffed, along with 37 raw eggs each. It was a bumpy flight.
All right, what's he been up to?
By the time we landed, all the keyholes in the bomb hatches were clogged up. We were in there for 7 hours. I don't know if you've ever tried inhaling raw sewage through an oxygen mask, but it's not something I'd recommend. What's you been up to?
You've just sent him off to tug his entire entrails down the toilet. He must have been up to something.
You never met Archie's wife, did you?
I was introduced to her at the christening. Just a very limp handshake, I remember.
No, I mean before she got spliced to Archie, when she was Bruce Mooney's PA, nice wee lassie. Betty Drinkwater as was. Good sturdy set of pins on her. Well-rounded calf, nicely turned ankle. We all used to go swimming together, big crowd of us. Even Wilfred used to tag along. I'm just telling Ishbel about our swimming parties. When they wouldn't let you in the pond and you go in the huff and blow your nose in folks' towels and go under the shower with your boots on. He did. He used to go into the shower in the bare buff with his boots and his water wings on. Never felt the slightest shame.
Have you and Miss Betty ever, you know...
romantically cloven, Ishbel? Yes, I suppose we were. At least, people used to look on us as an item. Even the old dear. I seem to record us exchanging pen pals. 2 of my Bavarians for one of Betty's Hawaiians, a young chap in Waikiki. He had the invalid tricycle franchise for the whole of the South Sea Archipelago. I wrote him, asked him if any of his trikes were equipped with Sturmy Archers, thinking it would be a nice surprise for the old dear's Christmas that year. Never heard from him again. Funny, isn't it? I mean, all he had to do was wrap it in oilskin, put in an order sheet and stick it aboard a lugger. I'd have settled up at this end. Never let on to Betty. She'd have been black affronted. I did eventually get the old dear some transport, a second-hand javelin customized conversion. Local fishmonger was trading it in for a set of garden furniture. Took us all over the joint. Great old jalopy. In fact, wee Betty came on a trip up north with me, old Jared, going back a number of years now. I was still wearing my mob suit. And I remember we pulled into this wee Highland glen, got the provisions out the boot, started a fire with some old picture posts and what was left of my Air Force underwear, and brewed ourselves a dish of tea. You know, that was one of the most refreshing mouthfuls I'd had in a long time. Even the old dear drank hers. There we were, the sun just dipping below the bend. A flock of stags lowing in the far distance. The entire countryside bathed in a golden light. Betty and I held hands. And the 3 of us sang Jerusalem together while we each took a turn with the foot pump.
That would be in the hit parade at the time, was it?
God knows who she ever did see in Archie. Or in that bugger Murray, for that matter. Do you know, I don't think I'm going to miss him at all.
That's who was whispering sweet nothings to down the phone, was it? I wondered. I knew it couldn't have been Moira. You really want to have seen his hairdo, no kidding. I don't think they'll let it anywhere near Canada.
Couldn't have been that bad, Ishbel.
No.
That guy Mooney's a lunatic. Wants me to finish another lot of captions before 4 o'clock. What am I going to do?
Don't you worry yourself about that, young Michael. If the worst comes to the worst, Wilfred will muck in.
What was that?
Please don't do that, Wilfred.
Oh, there you are, Mike. Thought we'd lost you again. Where's Ferdy? Max, drop whatever it is you're doing and step into the office. There's something I'd like you to be getting on with.
Excuse me, Peter.
Shouldn't you be pressing on? In you go, Max.
I don't think they're going to be very pleased, Peter, if these gents' netball results are late again.
I'll accept full responsibility, Max.
That'll be a first day, Murray.
Close the door, please, Ishbel.
No, go outside and then close the door.
Oh, for God's sake.
are.
Wish somebody had told me there were 2 Bobby Bruins this afternoon.
What's that door doing shut?
Stop spinning my good frock, you old midden.
Well, they're telling you that she gave my Easter egg to the ledger. It's true, she gave my Easter egg to the bloody ledger.
You didn't, did you?
They're coming.
I'm pretty sure I did. I'll just check that, Peter. Did you fill in those union forms I gave you?
What union forms?
I'll put it to the vote, old son.
Well, you and him talking about this rise.
Do I have to join?
It's a closed shop, stupid.
That's nice, Mary, son. Will you get in the cargo hold, do you think?
How come I'm not a member?
Will someone come and lead Wilfred back to the Vulcan, please?
Max, how come I'm not in the union?
You're a womanish girl, love.
Peter's friend Beverly's got her ticket.
Yeah, but she's a director, sweetheart. That's a man's job.
Only needs watering once a fortnight. Any takers?
Has anyone seen a pink sheet for these?
Fancy was a requisition, Michael. Inside, please.
I'm just about to find the pink sheep from Michael. Oh, Chuck Nicholas!
Close the door behind you.
Get a nice crop of hazelnuts every Christmas.
No, quietly this time.
How am I supposed to know what goes on these if I don't have a pink sheet? Sorry, requisition.
Suit yourselves.
I'd like you all to gather round for a moment.
Archie's dead, is he?
You two, Murray, Wilfred, gather round, would you?
Verdi could come back at any minute, you know that, don't you?
Let me take care of that, Isabel. Now, I'd like you all to listen carefully. Are you paying attention, Max?
I'm all ears, Pietro.
Right. As you're all no doubt aware... I'll start again, shall I? As you're all...
Would you believe it? The bloody gaskets are away now.
As you're all no doubt
The
aware...
robbers all perished. You see that, Peter?
Yeah, a couple of gas bills in the old Ovaltine. What do you reckon, Murray?
I should be getting danger money on top of this rise we're getting.
Shut up, you old mess!
Thank you, Murray. As you're all no doubt aware, we are in the throes of a general election today, and we, and I do mean each and every one of us, in the communications media, are in the front line. Yes, I know you've heard it all before, but I do sincerely believe that we, each of us, in our very different ways, has his or her own contribution to make towards the gathering and dissemination of information before, during, and after this momentous event. We also have the Bobby Bruin show in Studio D.
2 Bobby Bruin shows. This second lot of captions, Peter.
You don't stop whining, mate. You are going to get a belt around the mouth. Carry on, Peter.
I think we all recognise that the election special, coming as it does from Studio B, can be either a triumph or a nightmare. More especially when it's one's first big show and one isn't quite getting the service, design-wise, that one might expect. Which is not to say I wouldn't be putting my neck on the line if it were a chap at the helm. The fact that Beverly happens to be... what's the word?
You know fine well what the word is. We all do.
The fact that Beverly happens to be an old and much valued colleague from Lime Grove days.
I'm really worried about these captions, Peter.
You are asking for it.
That'll be quite enough, Murray. I consulted with Max over this, and although he's absolutely snowed under at the moment, he has, not without a great deal of soul-searching, I must add.
You don't want to tell me what's going on here.
He has agreed to waive certain previously adhered to union procedures, so if we could have a show of hands. Gentlemen.
Is that your Masonic meeting finished now?
Show of hands, please.
Stick your mitt up, Wilfred.
Just looking back at school, isn't it?
Think we're what up?
What are you playing at? You haven't got a vote.
Is your hand up or down, Murray? Right, I think that's pretty conclusive. Thank you, gentlemen.
What's all that, Nado?
If you just bodge these 2 big boards together, Michael. Murray, did I see you with some double-sided tape, old chap?
No, wait a minute, Peter. I've got all these
It
captions.
needn't be
I'm
too
not gonna
complex. In fact, the simpler the better, in a funny sort of way. As long as you leave plenty of room for the pointer thingy to swing well to the right. What is it, Wilfred?
Peter, I wanted to see where the blast scorched my scalp. You'll be seeing Stan Fife about my complaint, I take it. My heat's all burnt, you see.
Verdi's going to go bananas. Can you not give him a hand, Max?
Lad can manage perfectly well on his own, Ishbel. Murray and I used to batter that stuff out by the barrel load in the old days, right, Murray?
You make sure you leave plenty in the row. There's still quite a lot of packing to get through. You can manage without a drawing, can you? Clever lad, eh, Max?
Uh-oh. The Bolsheviks are milling around in the car park, I see.
Do you see where I'm pointing, Peter?
This one over, Peter.
Yes, well done, Wilfred. Do him a sketch, for God's sake, Max. Get a move on, Michael. They'd like it on camera by past at the latest.
Ferdy's got 2 pups, Peter.
I'm perfectly capable of handling Ferdy, spell. Say it's a big clock for the Bobby Bruin show, if anyone asks, Michael.
Well, I tell people you're away to this time.
How come I got all this to do? I've only been here for a week. Could someone not give me a hand? Christ.
What's the matter with the boy?
He's learning his trade, old son.
Oh. I've got a baby due any minute.
Oh dear, thought Bobby to himself. Oh dear, oh dear. Whatever was he going to do? He'd never made a kite before. He looked down at the great big sheet of white paper that Uncle Alistair had laid out on the grass. Then he looked up at the great big sky. He didn't even know what a kite looked like. A hot tear rolled down his cheek and fell with a plop on his brand new cream booties. Fiona, the friendly rabbit who was hanging out her washing in the next door garden, looked over the little white fence and wondered to herself what could possibly be the matter. Just as she was about to ask Bobby Bruin who should come trotting past but Bobby's special chum, Dobbin. "Hello, Bobby," chuckled Dobbin. "You're in a proper pickle about something, aren't you? Come on, you can tell old Dobbin. What is it?" Bobby sniffed and wiped away the tears. "Oh, Dobbin, I'm so glad you came trotting past. I've got a bob a job from Uncle Alistair. He's asked me to make a kite for Ichabod, who's not very well, so that Ichabod can fly it in his garden. And that rascal, wee McPhee, and his awful friend, Dodger, drove up in old Reeky's motor car, and Dodger said..." "Stop, stop," cried Dobbin. "I'm getting all confused. Start at the start, and I'll sit here and listen." So Bobby Bruin did start at the start, while Dobbin sat with his hooves crossed and his head on one side. And neither of them noticed the little bunny who was leaning over the little fence with her floppy bunny ears sticking up.
How's that?
You realise I could be taken downstairs and beaten senseless with a rolled-up copy of the ragged-trousered philanthropist for this, don't you?
Hold on to that.
What are you doing? My fingerprints will be in this now.
All right, where is he? Where is this scab that's trying to... Holy Christ, he's done it. He's made one. I thought you told me the rookie was a curry-fisted Egypt, you clown. You are up in front of a tribunal for this. And you never came to that meeting. I was standing down there freezing to death on my bloody Todd.
What's all that about? Christ, it's at that time already.
And you should know better than to be a party to this at your age, you traitorous vermin. Do you know what that is? That is your death knell. Peter? What?
It's in Xavier's maternity for Michael. What'll I tell them?
Where is he? Where is that shite?
What shite? I'm on the phone. I think it's about his wife's baby.
Give me that.
Oh, yeah.
Don't run, Michael, son, but that's maternity factory in the line for you. In Pietro's room.
Xavier and his bloody twins.
Well, that telephone sheet was here a minute ago. Where is it?
It's about your baby.
Thanks. Hello?
Would you play that? Give me that!
Shut that, this is urgent.
So it's this. I found Stan Fife's number.
Give him that back, you hooligan. Take it off him, Michael.
I'm warning you, if you don't give us that phone back, I'll...
You what?
I'll...
Don't be fair. He's a tally, for God's sake.
Come on. You what? You what? On you go. I dare you.
It's about your baby. What are you waiting for?
Baby? Him? He couldn't impregnate a clappy deal with custard if you gave him a shoe on.
Take that, you bastard.
Good God!
Hello? St. Saviour's? It's Mr. Pinkerton. About the baby.
Has he killed him?
I sincerely hope so, Ishbella. Nah, there's a wee flicker.
Hard lines, Michael.
Oh my God.
Fetch the ladder chair, Ishbella, love. Steady, old son.
Where you been feeding this on, Murray?
Are you sure? Christ, a boy.
Oh, well done.
Hello? Yeah, I'm sorry. They don't like you to swear. That's wonderful. A boy. Thanks. I can't believe it. I've just become a boy for the first time.
Do you hear that, Murray? Michael's a wee boy. How are they, boy?
No, just the one. A boy.
I'll get you a sherry. God, I'm really envious. I've got another 6 weeks of lugging Junior around. Ask Ferdy if he'd like a drink.
You care to wet the nipper's napper, Ferdy? Just pour my wee snifter a spell.
That's your real problem starting now, mate.
Thanks.
Here, Maxie, what was that we were all sticking our mitts up for? I got my scalp burned. It wasn't about this rise, was it?
That's young Michael there, he'll tell you. Not long to go now, my son. By this time next year, who knows? Big Moira could be a mountie.
A boy. Can I get away with it? A boy.
Oh, hurry up. I've got to go and see the nurse. How much was it?
Almost £8.
How much?
£8? Not bad, eh? Well, there's some of these that are cooked and some that aren't. Try and eat the cooked ones.
The man that said it was a licence to print money wasn't so far out, eh, Murray? £8? I'd have been happy enough with 8 bob.
He was talking about a run, you dirty old imbecile. You give us a drink, for God's sake.
Tell him to quit referring to Michael's firstborn as the runt. And chuck calling him a dighted old imbecile.
It's all your fault, Henderson. I've lost a gold fillet in here.
Oh, look, Michael, designer in a basket.
I'm really sorry, Ferdy. I don't know what you're into.
I do. A bit of spunk. Stop apologising to him. You'll take all the good out of it.
Well, come here, we find it, will you?
Oh, look. A swingometer.
Mother!
I'm waiting to have a chat with Stan Fife about this colossal rise we're getting. See if he can't get it backdated for us, eh?
Yeah, a handful of nails in the old drinking chocolate. What do you think, Murray?
Where are you, Henderson? I've got my dentist to put these fillings in privately.
A boy. I've just had a boy, Max.
Yes, that's all very well, Michael, son, but when they start screaming for these Bobby Bruins, that's not going to be at all helpful. Good grief, you haven't even started them. Look at this, Ishbel.
Don't wander too far, Murray. We've still got your presentation, all the speeches to get through. Oh, my God, I've never in all my life seen such a bunch of reprobates gathered together in one studio.
I said exactly, Pietro. The old dear and I were out in the hustings the other night. Want to have seen this assemblage of creeps? One of them had a bow tie on.
On the Bobby Bruin show, Max, I didn't dare venture anywhere near Studio B until Michael's done that. Oh, I say.
Don't mind if you congratulate me.
Well done, old chap. No, I mean it. Not bad, eh, Max? Right! Hot foot it downstairs to Studio B. Never mind if the red light's on, they can't switch it off. Come along. Chop, chop, Michael.
I think Olive wants to call him Cliff. After Cliff Bennett and the Rebel Rouse. Where am I going?
Studio B. Tell Beverly we're keeping everything crossed for her. I had a strong hunch she wouldn't let us down. Nice lad. Bright. Very bright.
Will somebody please answer those phones? I've got all these triple acid to rearrange.
Why is this floor in such a mess, Max? Hello, what's this? Ah, do you care to explain this to me, Ferdy? Oh, my God. What clan is that? The McMafia?
Tell your filthy missiles,
Steady, Ferdy. I should hate to have you dragged out of that hamper and your bottom smacked. Oh, my God, that kilt. You look exactly like that little dancer chappie. What do you call him? You know who I mean, Max. Mooney's boyfriend.
You know the Jackanellis fell at Bannockburn.
What, off their ice cream carts?
I'm warning you. When I get this stuck back in, I'm coming up here to smash your stupid foreign features in your toy-wick spittle.
Point, Ferdy. It's rude.
You bastard. Well, he just found that.
Well, I think we can forget all that nonsense about demarcation, don't you, Ferdy?
We'll never find it now.
Lift your feet, will you? We got Murray's presentation ready, Ishbel. I wonder what I did with my notes.
He's not having a presentation, is he? We've not got anything to present him with.
I thought someone put round a sheet for him. Didn't someone put round a sheet?
Yes, someone did put round a sheet, but all someone got in a sheet was a lot of filthy remarks and a half-crown from Wilfred. Do some of these look burnt to you, Max?
What are you talking about? I put in 10 bob.
Only because your old and valued ex-BBC colleague happened to be in the office. You took it back when she left, remember? What is it you see in her? She's Hackett-looking.
Here, I've no recollection of such an incident, but what do you mean she's Hackett-looking?
We'll just put the 12 and 6 in an envelope, and if he opens it, we'll tell him the other 40 quid must have fallen out.
Do you realise your bloody phones are out? I've got an entire cast and crew and standby downstairs.
Hang on a second, Bruce. 12 and 6 might well get him something quite serviceable. There's still time to nip round the large stores.
Are you listening to me?
Yes.
Yes! Yes! Is that all you can say? For Christ's sake, Peter, we're on the air. We're actually on transmission. The bloody satellite's bouncing everything back to the Olympic Stadium. We're being taken live by the rest of the country. Where are they?
Murray's got his senses halfway to Canada by now. As for young Michael, I've sent him downstairs
My
to...
bloody captions, you idiot!
Hang about. Don't take that tone with me, Mooney. No, don't put those there, Ishbel. They'll only get knocked over in the rush.
You may not be aware of this, Peter, but I have not lowered an eyelid in 36 hours. I'm fatigued and I'm famished. Stay right where you are. I'm not finished yet. I'm under strict medical instructions not to drink, drive, or in any way get upset, which in itself is upsetting, since Dixie's got a massive hernia and I'm having to travel in by subway. But we'll forget about that. I told you not to move. Shona, my number one, Shona, has sprained a wrist relaxing between shows. So Derek the Lush has the responsibility of handling Dobbin, Wee McPhee, and Uncle Alistair, in addition to all of his own people. Don't look at me when I'm talking to you, damn it! I've got one camera completely US. Bobby's little car's knackered. There's a torrent of MPs, pseudo-MPs, and has-been MPs traipsing through the studio, harassing my floor manager, who happens to be female and a practicing Methodist. But you've got the almighty gall to say, don't take that tone with me.
Yes, perhaps that was putting a bit strong, old chap. Ishbel and a Amontillado for Mooney.
I sure I'll take to you, you pompous, overbearing, millimart twat. The hell have I done with it? Aye-ya!
Here's your screwdriver, Mooney.
Good Lord, you were going to use that on me. Look at this, Ishbel. He was actually going to use this on me. Aye-ya!
How dare you?
No, what are you doing? No. Please, no, no. Oh, yeah. A glass of something, quickly, Ishbel. Ferdy, quickly, Ishbel.
I'm 10 months pregnant. I can't go any quicker. Have yourself to drink, Bruce.
How could you, Mooney?
Quite happily. Next time you mock the afflicted, it won't be just the front curtains. It'll be your entire bedroom suite.
That's your Bruins, Bruce.
My calling card, gentlemen.
Here. I hope it chokes him.
Drink this, old chap.
What happened?
Steady on, chum. You just had a little accident, that's all.
Try me one of these.
For one horrendous second there, I thought I'd lost my...
This what you're looking for?
I don't think that's the least bit funny, Mrs. Green.
I don't know. Made me laugh. Excuse me.
Haven't missed anything, have I?
Ah, there you are, Murray. I did have a bit of a speech scribbled down. Well, not exactly a speech as such. I'd just like to say...
Sophia?
Shut up, you old dunce. Carry on, Peter.
Well, all I wanted to say really was, well, you know.
No, I don't, Peter. Could we have a bit of order here, please? We'll spit it out, I'm waiting.
You could always deliver the one you done for that big lad who was here just prior to Murray. That went down very well, didn't it, Wilfred? All those references to missing paper clips and late coming took it very good part. Of course, they are inscrutable, your Orientals. He was part Lascar, this fellow. I don't believe I ever saw him again. You didn't have a doctor, did you, Pietro?
Do you mind, pal? This happens to be a special moment. The floor is yours, Peter.
Thanks, Murray. Well, Wilfred, would you like to say something?
Yep.
I had a whole sheaf of notes, Murray, old chap.
I think Purdy said it all, old son. Haste ye back, here's your billet.
I've had just about all I can take from you, you brainless bastard. If you had two grey cells to rub together, you'd have realised a long time back that I'm only too delighted to get shot of this dump. And more especially get shot of you. And you. And him. And that manky old pig up there.
Why don't you have a sherry, Murray? You're overwrought.
Overwrought! Overworked and underappreciated. Take your hands off me, Peter. And don't look as though this is some kind of revelation. You must know how much I despise the lot of you. You with your wrinkled brow and your twin-set trousers. Maxton there with his pinhead philosophy and his dated old mother. I hope she drops dead on you.
Steady on, old chap.
Don't old chap me, Peter. I am up to here in old chaps, old chums, and old Holborn. Money was right. You are a prat. I could have told you that 3 days after I started it. No, sorry, tell a lie. 2 days after I started here.
That's the phone for you, Murray. It sounds like a woman's voice, but I think it's Moira.
4 years, Peter. Never once was my leproset squeegee. Never once was my aspect ratio squinty. 4 years, Peter.
Sorry, Peter. Robert's mum's coming round to watch the election special tonight. I want to make sure we're out. What have I done with my knitting bag?
What about Murray's farewell?
I hadn't forgotten. Farewell, Murray. I can't for the life of me think what Canada's ever done to deserve you. It must have been something pretty dire here. Works off the mains. Use it yourself, I'd better still get Moira to run over that hairdo. Her sounds gruesome. Night, Max. I'm sure Michael will bail you out when you have your baby. Night, Wilfred. Beverly, what's her face has got her swingometer. Make sure that's all you give her. Hard loss, Winnie's gain. Or should that be the other way about? You just got home to the baggy minnows. Right, kiddo, let's go. Fingers crossed for a bright new tomorrow. If you've got any sense, you'll stay put. Good night, boys.
Good night, Ishbel, love. They go a bit funny when they're about to pod, Murray's son. Yeah, you're looking a trifle drawn. It's not bad news, is it? That'd be too much to hope for.
She went along with him in the ambulance, she was saying.
She's nice, Murray. You see this, Max?
God, talk about naive. You don't go and get a hairdressing appointment just because you're emigrating.
How true, old son. Tattoos, yes, but a shampoo and set. Of course, she may well have had some tattoos done while she was under the dryer. A couple of entwining serpents and a big head and shoulders of Archie in his deathbed. I'm surprised he never tricked my son. Old Wilfred was over there the other night, caught the pair of them in flagrante delicto. Huh? Archie and you and Moira, they were playing Monopoly. Isn't that so, Wilfred? She had Archie's utilities over while Wilfred was still shooting the dice in his egg cup. Well, I wouldn't advise that, old son, not unless you want your trotters to drop off.
Shouldn't need me think that I'm upset. Just welcome the bloody cow.
Andy! What are you going to do?
Found it. Found Studio B. Got Beverly gave me.
Just step over him, Mike. Sorry, Murray. You were talking to me.
No. No. Just say whatever toodaloo is in Esperanto to Winnie and the wee ones for us. I'll drop them a line from Toronto to tell them.
Yes, I shall. Terribly fond of you and Moira. Winnie was getting them to make you a big card with a potato print of the Rockies on it and a verse or two in Quebecois. But I'm afraid don't make the potato. Poor little bugger was ravenous. Well, what we should do about Ferdy? Michael, what's this I hear about you just becoming a dad? Might have said, What do you have?
That was all of that, Adam. A boy?
Just get the missus to wheel him in when they're up and about. We'll have a celebration.
That's right, we'll all celebrate.
I'll ask Winnie to bake a little cake for him. Nothing fancy. I got her to chuck one together for Wilfred's retirement a couple of years back. Lots of sponge fingers. Went down very well. You thought of a name yet?
How's about Archie? That's proving very popular.
Somewhere. Did I ask you to work late tonight, Max?
Good night, Wilfred. Another day bites done. One more paltry footstep closer to the great abyss.
Election special. We need 2 graphics personnel to be on constant standby through the night.
If you're back into camera shot, don't forget to claim your appearance money, young Michael. Wilfred will keep you right.
I'll get that.
You're setting a precedent if you do, old son. So it's up to you. Save me letting some Bond Street dealer have them, old son. I'd only squander the look of tight trousers and loose school teachers.
Hello, is that you, Betty?
Forget it, old son. She once came with the old dealer and I had a trip up north, as Drinkwater as was. Definitely not lumberjack material. Wait till it's quiet and give Mario Hunchback a tinkle. He's still got 1 or 2 inflatable Christine Keaters in stock, I believe. Here. Wilfred's taken up low football.
Ah! God, where am I?
Here's your answer, old son. Night all.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen the standby caption?
No, dear. Oh, we know, dear, sir.
Don't put tea on the monitor.
Oh, here. Here!
Quiet, please, studio. Going for a rehearsal.
Mac's a hero, very hard to conceive of, telling tales that nobody dares to believe.
Said baby for Peter, who couldn't be sweeter. He really was a yellow fellow.
Toodle-oo-ish bell, whom all of us wish well. Now she's up to have that baby.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Harold to Birdie.
He's a bit of a nerdy. He waved his chipolata. Bye, bye.
Cheerio, Murray. A man in a hurry.
He had to get off to Toronto, pronto.
And then there was Wilfie. His habits were filthy.
The dirty old peasant kept us guessing.
Bruce Money's a chancer.
He's wrenching a dancer, know what I mean?
He's having a fling with Dexy, the Betsy. So long to the rookie.
He's so tall and so kooky. So pleased to be a ga-ga-ga, da-da-da. They made us feel nervous.
May heaven preserve us, preserve us.
The gang you met on normal service.
Election special tonight.
We'll be bringing you up-to-the-minute coverage of the results. Up-to-the-minute coverage for the whole of central Scotland in the run-up to the result itself. We'll be talking to the candidates, we'll be talking to the party leaders, but above all, we'll be talking to you, the Scottish electorate. Join Mario Casamadio on 4th and Clyde tonight at 9. Scotland's future is in the balance, and you are in a ringside seat for the battle of the parties. Election Special 64, tonight at 9 on 4th and Clyde Television.
FNCTV.